What is your aim, I say, great leaders of today? Do you want to live to see great progress in your country? Or you want the whole Caribbean to be filled with bloody stains and strife? Taking poor people's lives, making sacrifice, just to live your big life. Oh yes, well you are responsible for whatever happens. That's why we depend on you, thinking you would help us too. But you concentrate on power and don't care if your poor brother eat or no shoes on his feet, up and down the street in the burning heat. Oh yes, while immigration's in the foreign nation, kicking your people out just like garbage cans. But you better realize we have reached at a crucial stage. Situation that's taken us right back to slavery days. But I say, you are the shepherd, we are the sheep. You made a petition, and that you must keep. But how can we prosper with our lives in your hand when you're hunger for power, corrupting this land for the news and information that I feel every day? All I can do is just get right down on my knees and pray. And while meditating, I hear a voice saying, "Woe to the shepherd that leads his sheep astray."
Give the Lord, for the Lord.
But I'm asking of the people, oh yeah, I'm telling you straight to your people, oh yeah, you are a big disgrace, oh yeah, destroying the human race. Every leader should be brave. It's a fact I must explain. Opposition leaders too, you're also responsible for when you perform malpractice, overthrowing government. I'll insist. If something like this is of your interest, then you're a pessimist. Oh yes, but if you live by guns, well then you will surely die by them. If you take my opinion, you can save a whole nation. All you opposition leaders and you ministers in government, while you resent and rest with content, poor people can't pay their rent. But when you come to the public, you keep a show, telling us mega business. But I hope you know, hungry children starving their belly out while you feeding high. But how can you rest with content when you hear them cry and deny that you are the shepherd, we are the sheep? You made a petition which you would not keep. You corruptious leaders, careful what you do, for what you do to others will come back to you. For when the radio station said that it done today, my inspiration just grew, and I fell right down on my knees and prayed. And while I was praying, the good shepherd kept saying, "Woe to the shepherd that leads his sheep astray." But them a sin of the place. I'm getting them straight to the face. There are a big disgrace, destroying the human race.
To the Lord, to the Lord.
Oh yeah. The whole world situation is nothing but corruption. Even much ill words to say, but I blame parents and teachers who resent from teaching them the way. And that's why today, disrespect, I say, is a common thing. Oh yeah. And when you go to church, you'll find ministers of the same kind, sexual maniacs, and then some are homosexual men. They are nothing but wolves in sheepskin. They are blind, but yet they live in weeds. And I'm pleased to see Calitonians like me, who the good shepherds, and see that diverse time and peril has come. I say, false prophets rising up, deceiving every nation. It is time to spread the message all over every land. Stand up and fight and wipe out all corruption, and understand that we are the shepherds to care for our sheep. That is the petition which we have to keep. We pros to be leaders and to give instruction, but some only created abomination. Oh, the world is full of corruption and deceitful men today. So in whatever we do, we must get down on our knees and pray. For when we start praying, we'll gain understanding and know the good shepherd won't lead his sheep astray. He put a blessing in the place. I'm telling you straight to the face. He'll save the human race.
Sounds of the King Starshield there. This one is called The Good Shepherd. And my good people, I'm DJ Marisha coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul St. Kitts. Yes, coming to you another beautiful Wednesday evening here in our beloved Federation. And I know some of you might be just scrolling the web and running to us and wondering what this podcast is all about. So let's just take a quick listen to an ad to let you folks know what we are doing here in our beloved Federation, what this podcast is all about, and we'll get driving very shortly. As you know, we're on a continuation from last week with some things that is taking place in our beloved Federation. I am just here to bring you the facts, my good people. I am not here to change minds, just to bring you the facts, and you use your own common sense.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishaw's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. I'm DJ Marisha. I'm here each and every Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. local time here in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now let's take a quick run across to the sister island here. Fountain to be exact. Nevis, hear what Cabo have to tell us.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over. Food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, my good people, Carbo have the food all over Nevis, and he also extend that service to our island of St. Kitts. So folks, just feel free to reach out to Carbo, let him know DJ Marisha sent you. Let's take a quick listen to my girl, Sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
Yes, for sure. Check out Sister Carmen there each and every Monday to Saturday down there at Shirley Lane, opposite the West Ferry Terminal in downtown Bastille from midday until about 5 p.m. And a Sunday, you can find her there in the Boyd's Village bus stop right opposite the O'Gara's shop. Carmen also available for catering, so feel free to reach out to Carmen and let her know DJ Marisha sent you. Let's stand by for my boy, Brother Daniel there in Nevis.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and Strategies for Business Success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
Yeah, that's Brother Danny there with the Hydro Farm. And my good people, I want to big up the good people here, the good water people here at Island Purified Water, Main Street, Newton Grounds and Kitts. The man, Brother Powell there, Scott, I want to thank him and his team for keeping the DJ hydrated whenever I am in the Federation. Now let's take a quick listen to my boy there, Malcolm Gums, the owner of Spectrum Band out of St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Let's hear what you have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there, my good people. And this evening, we have a lot to discuss, continuation from last week. But before we get into any further ado, I think it's only correct that we drop my boy Dwyer Astafan commentary for today. I think it's a very informative commentary. I must say in advance to Dwyer that I listened to the commentary, and at first I basically was kind of disappointed with the information did not go far enough. But then I reflect that you're not as young as you used to be, and maybe you got to do it in 2 or 3 takes like you did and previous commentary. So let's take a listen to Dwyer, and I'll fill in where I need to from there. But very impactful commentary coming from Dwyer today.
Greetings. The words blackmail and extortion are flying through the air these days. That's because last week Tuesday, in a roundtable session on live radio, Prime Minister Drew accused MSR Media and local collaborators of trying to blackmail and extort the government to the tune of $40 million to $100 million US in exchange for withholding the release of an MSR documentary film which allegedly paints the country and our CBI program in a negative light. The Prime Minister said that people actually came to his office to demand the money and that he told them no. And he said this was blackmail and extortion. And in support of his claim, he read a telephone text message that he had received. He went on to say that he had spoken with the Attorney General and that they have secured a law firm of high international reputation. The Larceny Act, Chapter 4.16 of the laws of our Federation, at Section 32A, which deals with demanding money, etc. with menaces, that section states that any person who, without any reasonable or probable cause, utters any letter or other writing, knowing its contents, and which said letter or other writing demands with menaces any property or other valuable thing of another person, such a person who does that is guilty of a felony and can be imprisoned with hard labor for up to 7 years. The use of the word menaces suggests that the law requires that there must be sufficient coercion, pressure, in order to force the victim to take a certain course of action. And you will note that this section deals with written communication. Then Section 34A states that a person who, with intent to extort any valuable thing from another person, whether directly or indirectly, threatens to print or publish, or directly or indirectly proposes to abstain from, or offers to prevent the printing or publishing of any matter or thing touching any other person, living or dead. Such a person commits a misdemeanor and on conviction is liable to imprisonment with or without hard labor for not more than 2 years. These two sections, I believe, are the key areas in our law dealing with blackmail and extortion. I'm not an expert in this area, and there will be situations in which a person may be charged under both sections. Now, I'm not taking sides. I am on the side of fact. And in this vein, I refer to the relevant law in the hope that we can, at least in a small way, by understanding the law, better understand the context and get a clearer picture of this story as it unravels. And the same applies to what I will say now, which is this. We must bear in mind that if I accuse you of committing a crime or crimes, for example, blackmail and extortion, but when we reach the court, there is not sufficient evidence to support my accusation, then I might have to end up defending myself in one or more civil cases for having tarnished your good name. And defeat in such a case could be very costly. This situation is a tough one, but one way or the other, and with the least amount of pain possible inflicted on anybody involved, I think it would be good for the public to find out how much of this is law, how much of it is the rule of law, how much of it is protecting and defending a government's and a people's good name, and how much of it, if any, is politics. Now, the attention of the public to CBI issues was captured when the story of the Galaxy Prison project broke, and the country then began to hear about selling of citizenships below prices set by law and that sort of thing. The most dastardly violation and atrocity committed against the well-being and the best interests of the people of this country at the hands of Timothy Harris and his Team Unity colleagues takes an unmatched place in the annals of disgrace, betrayal, robbery, and misgovernance in the history of modern St. Kitts Nevis. That is how bad the setup with regard to the jail project was and is, and we're still feeling it. Everybody else but you, the average man and woman in this country, benefited largely. A number of them enriched themselves handsomely, and all of that off your buck and off your back and off your patrimony. And you all therefore need to know the full story. You all need to know who all of the culprits have been and are, because you all have been the victims of this historic violation and atrocity. But in fairness to a man who chose not to be fair with you, it didn't start with Dr. Harris. It started in 1984, when just a handful of persons here knew about CBI, and an even smaller handful benefited from it. It was like a totally private scheme, no accountability whatsoever. Then things started getting ramped up from 2006, with the birth of the SIDF, and later with the real estate option coming to play and other options. From the get-go, the CBI sector was never properly structured and administered, and that left it and us dangerously vulnerable to predators, pilferers, profiteers, and plunderers. With the real estate option, there was a minimum investment, but developers were selling product that was far less valuable than the actual minimum, so it puffed up their prices to meet the threshold and the demands of the law. But a lot of that money went to agents, went to paybacks to people who bought and so forth. So the actual cost of the product which was being bought to render someone eligible for citizenship by investment was not up to the minimum set by law. And during that phase of our development, which has not ended, government never knew how much money passed, never knew. They never inspected the work sites. There were no control mechanisms put in place to protect the people's interests should any of these developers take the cheap route or turn rogue on us and run away full of cash and leaving nothing for us but a pockmarked landscape on our beautiful island. You see these landscapes, the pocked landscapes, with your own eyes today. And in a nutshell, the CBI was pretty much allowed to go along doing as it pleased. It was being effectively run, controlled, and used by private players. The regulator was asleep at the wheel, and a load of bad things happened for you, while a few people amassed giant fortunes off your backs. So you did not know, and they did not care for you to know. And that was from about 2010, 2011, and going forward. Dr. Douglas was the leader back then. Just before he left, Galaxy signed up for the Ramada project, and that and the till-offs at Frigate Bay and the project at Camps area, all with Chinese developers, started doing their thing. And others followed, and the underpricing became epidemic in the CBI. The practice continued and even worsened under the leadership of Timothy Harris between 2015 and 2022, with the jail project becoming recognized as the standard bearer for low standards and corrupt practices. And speaking of the jail project, even before it started, and I'm talking about back in 2020 and 21, back then, I was told that the jail project citizenships were being applied for and in some instances granted. You heard me right. Even before the cabinet approved it in December 2021. And then they came with an SRNO in May 2022, a process which I question up to today. But even before all of that, I am told, and I was told that even back in 21, but you have to hold some of your powder. I did not say it all. I heard that jail files were being processed. If so, somebody knew what was going on. If I'm wrong with this, then somebody please correct me. But if I'm right, then please explain to the whole nation what happened, how it happened, and why it happened. Enter the Drew administration in August 2022. And during that election, Dr. Drew and his colleagues expressed their awareness of the problems with the jail project and the CBI and gave their commitment to clean it up. And they did some cleaning up, but not enough. They knew that it was a scam. They knew that, or they came to find out. But they must have known or had a very good idea because it was discussed on the platform in August of 2022. As I said, they knew it was a scam. And Dr. Drew should therefore never have signed any of those certificates of registration for applicants for citizenship under the jail project. And none of the persons who so badly advised him should be on the public payroll. But of course, the buck stops with him. Meanwhile, the situation between government and MSR worsened. And all the while, MSR was now researching and gathering information and evidence, as I understand it. In their legal tanglings with MSR, the government received documentation from MSR to show that a number of jail applicants had not paid the full amount. And the government made use of this information to write letters to applicants and got back money in a number of cases, got extra money paid so that these people could retain their passports. So they used the information provided by MSR, but they didn't go far enough because there are thousands of applications for the jail project. And I would like somebody to show me, convince me that the underpricing did not take place with the Ramada project as well, and the Tilofs projects and other projects. And if the government is committed to cleaning up the sector, it has to draw proof, extract proof from every one of those applicants for those projects to satisfy the government that the right amount of money was paid as per the law. Meanwhile, the government still has a relationship with a company called CS Global, which is the government's exclusive worldwide representative. And for that, CS Global has been receiving between $5,000 and $10,900 from the government, your money, for each successful CBI application. So between Galaxy and CS Global, you're looking at a lot of money. Everybody doing their business. If people can get good deals and they're not compromising their integrity, they take the good deals. So with all of that, the situation between government and MSR soured to the point where MSR was now removed from the CBI list. And its leader, Philip Martinez, was referred to as a fraudster. I wonder, when did the government find out that he was a fraudster? If they did before they had approved him, then why did they approve MSR anyway? And if they did after, how long after the approval did they find out that he was a fraudster? And how quickly thereafter did they cut him off? They should publish his record, whatever information they have on him. Publish it for the people to see. Publish the information. This is not a secret society. So much of our business, the people's business in this country, has taken place and takes place, but the people don't know about it. The trustees of the people over the years have not been exemplary in the discharge of their duties as trustees. So do you see why I want this process to be fully ventilated? For the public to understand what is what and who is who. It will help us understand if there was in fact blackmail, if there was in fact extortion, or whether this is political theater. And it will also help the people of this country to get a better understanding of their leaders. And hopefully it will bring a new era of greater transparency. And speaking of transparency, the country needs to know the basic details of the arrangement for the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw public good project, and between the government and another entity, which I'm told now has been struck off the company register in St. Kitts, for the Performing Arts Theatre. We need to get the details of these projects. We've been bitten more than once. The prison project was, if you will, the poster child for bad practices and corruption. We want to see all of them. We want not every item of information, but we want to get sufficient information for us to understand and rationalize the decisions made on our behalf, and to take steps to ensure that those bad decisions which cause us to be victimized don't repeat themselves. Let me say this. I believe that the public good option under our CBI needs to be reviewed. I believe all public good options should be government projects. Government should own the project. Government should develop the project, engage agents, architects, engineers, contractors, construction managers, auditors, and so forth, and pay every organization fairly and pocket all of the profit. What you see the former government allowed Galaxy to do with the prison and others to do with other projects, this government must put an end to it by cleaning the books of the past and having a serious look at taking over the public good options themselves. You can get international marketing agents just like any developer can. Cut out all of these middle people and use the increased net profits to grow prosperity and sustainability in our country. There is too much room at present, in spite of the improvements that have taken place. There is too much room for slackness, illegality, and corruption, and too much risk for money and benefits to be lost to the people of this country from the public good options. Too much risk to the public, and here is the irony, from public good options, and that needs to be stopped. As I said, we do not want any repetitions of the ugly past. We must make a clean break and go forward. And finally, we must forgive sins of the past, because none of us can throw the first stone. We're all sinners. But if we do not get the transparency and accountability and the respect upon which the transparency and accountability must be based, if we do not get the respect from those to whom we entrust responsibility for our affairs, then we have to act decisively and appropriately. So let us get the information. Let us hear the extortion and the blackmail trials and bring out all of the information. Let the people see. An informed people is an enlightened people. Let there be light. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Brother Dwyer, I want to thank you for your commentary for today, this evening. Though your optics are very disheartening to me. Why they're so disheartening to me, Dwyer? I am even shocked that you even touched this topic, because I met with you in your office last week in Dwyer, last Friday. And I actually gave you my phone with my conversation with Prime Minister Jew, because we have that connection, we have that respect for each other. And for you to come with this vague commentary today, I'm happy that you did, because at least the general public has a little understanding of what is taking place. And as the drip comes, I guess they will get a better understanding. But Dwyer, you, Sam Kanda, Dr. Martin, and the entire team that worked with me during the Get Rid of Them campaign, you all are well aware of the situation. Because when I found out that something was not adding up, before it even get bust to the general public, I called you about certain situation, Dwyer. You called a meeting in your office. I don't recall exactly everybody who showed up, but I know for sure you was there, Dwyer. The DJ was there. Larry Vaughan was there. Sam Kanda was there. Dr. Martin was there. I'm not sure if Douglas Watley was there, but I think Ira McMahon was there as well. And I present my concerns. And like anything else, you all try to dance around this shit, protecting what and who I do not know. But I call it dance around. But I guess that's the way you all conduct your business, right? And I remember Sam making a presentation. And I got down on Sam. And I told him, you're carrying a lot in your chest for these politicians. You was one as well. You're going to die with these things in your chest and let the country go down the drain? I have given up a lot for this country. I left a life in New York to save this country under a previous administration that we call corrupt. And I will not sit back, see the same thing happening, and don't say anything. I made it clear to you all from the onset. And when I start getting down on Sam cried. Water came out his eyes. He broke down. And tell me, Mr. Marisha, you think you gave up a lot for this country? Look at me. I was the deputy prime minister of this country. I gave up all of that to save this country and much more. And when he started crying and presenting himself, Dr. Martin held him, hugged him, and told me, Marisha, ease up on the man, leave the man alone. And I ease up. But you see that Dr. Martin there, my cousin Dr. Martin, when he ran me down our frigate to tell me that my aunt told him to introduce himself to me, that very day he ran me down, you know. I told Dr. Martin, I was living in St. Paul's as a young boy, going to school hungry, need food to eat. A lot of family know who is my family now. They was right there, I did not know there was family. And today I could feed myself. So meeting family today for me is not something that I really care about. But I accepted him and I show him respect. But these people are just selfish people and don't care about this country. And it's them you all want to show respect. Well, individuals such as myself and Mr. Martinez, who want to see this country do well, you all out there want to flip it, want to use distraction, and all kind of cloud to cloudy this stuff. We're talking right now about the countries, the country of St. Kitts and Nevis. It is disintegrating before our eyes. It is going down the road because of these bad actors. Prime Minister Jew, he knew before he took office the situation with the CBI. He knew about the prison project. He knew about the underselling. I played a clip last week by Premier Brantley when he spoke about the underselling. They went in there. And I can recall on more than one occasion on this platform when I interviewed Dr. Joe, before he became Prime Minister, I said to him, whatever you do when you get in there, please don't do what the former administration is doing or worse. It's not going to be a good time for you. I'm going to come at you harder than I went after Timothy. My grandmother always tell me, when your own lies bite you, he bite you hard. It's not like I didn't want the prime minister. He chose to lie to me. All I wanted from the prime minister when he took office, he appears to be an honest, clean doctor. From all aspects, that is how I look at the gentleman. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would have died for this man. This man could have taken my life because that is how much I believe in him. I have fought people for this man. The people he's using today to destroy my reputation is people that tried to destroy my reputation in 22 during the campaign and tried to destroy his life. I got some information here in my phone, in my computer, and my external drive. The people that has been coming, some of them has been coming daily this week, making statements about they don't like how I'm dealing with the prime minister. I hurt the feelings and all kind of bullshit. These are the same people because you say you don't like your mother, you don't take care of your mother. Your mother has to be working for somebody else cleaning the office to survive. These are your family that are telling me these things. One of them spent months in this federation, months, trying to get the contract to operate the peace program. Months. And I know that because they sent me the plan. They complained to me, asked me to talk to you, Mr. Joe. They sent me the list of the people and the peace program, some 1,800 names. I have that. I didn't have access to it before. They sent it to me. They tell me about wanting to do the signage around the country. That is the proposal they gave to you, not to me. When they did not get those projects, they knew every day. I got the stuff in my phone, screenshot. You want to screenshot one stuff? I got over 60, if not more, screenshot of attacks on you from your family, who today glad for the opportunity to grandstand that is an honor for you. When is them trying to convince me to go against you? When I stood for you, they was trying to convince me to go against you. I stand up against the world for you. Stand up against people who claim to be your cousin when they couldn't get what they want. I wasn't looking for anything. When you all called me, tell you all I was content with where I'm at in New York. I was fine, I didn't want anything. Oh, you still invited me in. No, I out there make all kind of nonsense out there. We are talking about the country, the CBI, the prison project that you all said was corrupt. Not the DJ. Not the work I do at the JNF. The work speak for itself. I did everything top class. As a matter of fact, one of the managers said to me, when you all was calling for my head months ago, she told you all, what you all bothering Marisha for? The man doing his work. What he do on a Wednesday night, that is his business, but he doing his work. But I knew the time will come where we're going to have to separate. That is why I came to your office, Mr. Prime Minister, in March, and said to you, I realize there's some tension. So, to avoid any misunderstanding, I am not going to done away with my podcast, and I'm going to be honest and true to the people. I'm not going to mislead anybody. I'm not going to be twisting for you. I'm not going to be spinning for you. So, the same way you invite me in, feel free to invite me out. You are not the only person I spoke to about this, Mr. Prime Minister. I've said it to other people. And they asked me if I spoke to you, and I tell them yes. Even before I spoke to you, I spoke to other people, and I tell them my position. They encourage me to talk to you to make you understand that you should be happy that you got someone like me on your side that will be there for you and telling you the right thing. But for whatever the reason, you said to me, Jeff Roy is nothing like that. But lo and behold, following an interview with Mr. Azad Gums on the 11th of May, and Win FM. I get a letter on Monday. I had no issue with that. I was prepared for the letter. At 3 o'clock, when the lady said to me that the PS would like to meet with me in the conference room, I didn't ask why. I went to my desk, I packed my stuff in my bag, I put them in my vehicle, and I went to the office to meet you all. You all give me a separation letter, and I said, fine. I came here on the Monday evening. I presented to the online viewers. I'm no longer attached to the JNF. Simple. And I went on to say what the situation is and what I'm going to do. This is nothing personal, Mr. Prime Minister. You was not strong enough. You didn't have the balls to tell your AG that the attorney said, or the judge said, was corrupt for doing whatever he did with the nanny gate on 3 occasions. You did not have the balls to terminate your AG for wrongdoing. But you find the balls to send letter to the DJ for doing what? His job. No problem. We see the difference. They said you are known by the company you keep. So if you want to harbor a criminal, then you are one as well. So let's get that clear and out the way. We go further. You guys took an oath of allegiance to the country, to the king, queen who was in there at the time. You all take an oath to uphold the Constitution and to defend the country. The thing that I said to someone, that oath of secrecy, I have a problem with it. I have a problem with it. Because that oath of secrecy gave you guys the opportunity to go into cabinet. Information was provided of what is going on with the wrongdoing. And instead of Prime Minister Joe, be the man and have the balls to tell the bad actors, you're out. They decide to take a vote to protect. Man, listen, lies is something eventually they're going to come to light. So it don't make no sense to lie to nobody. Just tell them like it is. So you all lied to the country. You all lied to the DJ. And as I said last week, why we are at this crossroad, you know? Why we are at this crossroad is because of the Prime Minister lying to me. Because had the Prime Minister come clean, I would have been out of a job before. I would have came here before, and I would have said what I had to say before. We would not be here today. Government might have been changed by now. But he gave me the impression that the prison project had stopped. That's the impression I received. I also received the impression that the 5,500 files for the prison project was a Timothy Harris thing. His hands are clean. But then, when my eyes start to open up, you know, I don't know if you all just look at Parliament, you know. But if you all look at Parliament, you all look like they put things in place so that they could fit the narrative for their lies. Because in one breath, the Prime Minister is saying the CBI thing is going to be the hardest thing he would have to deal with. And in the next breath, he's saying he was set up. Set up by who, Mr. Prime Minister? Set up by who? Your colleague? Because you sure wasn't set up by Timothy Harris. Mark Brantley, after the breakup of Team Unity, went on his podcast and spoke about the underselling. I have the clip. I played it Monday night. That is the clip that Mr. Martinez got to start his project to show you guys. Because you all, when Mr. Martinez brought it to your all attention, according to Mr. Martinez, the AG assured him and his team, his investors, that the matter will be resolved. There'll be no more underselling. But where Martinez get pissed, and rightfully so, you have a right to get pissed. is while you are championing Taiwan, here is it. Not only the underselling continues, a Chinese lady end up in our delegation at the UN Assembly and another individual. And up till today, nobody get an explanation for that, The country still should get an explanation for that. But what I found out last week, it appears as though badness never went out of style, like Douglas said. I remember at a public meeting, Douglas said badness out of style. No, it's the in thing in St. Kitts Nevis. And all of you in that circle is part of it. I had a listen to this groundings program on Friday, and it's nothing that surprised me, but it is disheartening to see that we got these dirty people, this nasty-minded, worthless people dress up, and now you give them all this credit while they're out there raping the country, covering a wrong. It's very disheartening. And I explain to you why. I was in quarantine for 14 days. I broadcast on this podcast for 14 days. Sakoti reached out to me on a couple of occasions, and he asked me to give him an exclusive interview on Win FM Voices when I come out. He wanted to be the first person to interview me. Sakoti was my brethren, my friend. I was his promoter manager. And I grant him that wish. I gave him the first interview. The next day I got a call from Juni Libud, the big JL, saying to me, he heard the interview with Sakoti and my story need to get some legs. He's asked me to come to Freedom FM to do an interview. I accepted. I went there and I did an interview with him. His announcer at the time, who is now the owner of SK Newsline, interviewed me. I also was interviewed on Groundings with Sam Conda, Junior Libud, for follow-up. So they have my number. With this bullshit that Dr. Drew, our Prime Minister, just spoke about, somebody trying to shake him down. He didn't call my name, but I see the game that he plays with people. He gaslight the citizens, he gaslight his base. And I decided he did it before. He did it once, he did it twice. I'm not going to stand by and watch him do it 3 times. So I identify myself. That WhatsApp message you read at your round table that took place at 5:23 that afternoon came from the DJ. I identify myself with that situation. And the public knows. Everybody knows that I identify myself because it's made it to newspapers. But what is this happening for me is this. When Cans Edward went missing, you couldn't find them to help carry the news to try and find Cans. But when he was found dead, they running me down for soundbite for their news item. I accommodate them. Well, with all the bullshit that's going on, you're going to tell me Juni have my number, Sam Conda has my number, Dr. Martin has my number. None of them think it was right courteous to pick up a phone and call me and get my version, my side of what transpired. But Dr. Martin conveniently, during his presentation, spoke about extortion. Well, cuz you're such a piece of shit, you understand? I can tell you that personally. I don't care if you ever speak to me again. You are such a piece of shit. You need to stop bullshit in this country. You was once, I understand, leader, head doctor of the hospital. You're supposed to be some good doctor. You're supposed to be some doctor for children. You're supposed to get a good heart. Where's your guys' heart? Why are you guys supporting this narrative? Why are you guys embracing this damage to this country? Then you all want to pretend you all love the country and you are so righteous? Well, I'm going to remind you all, I'm going to remind you all. And I'm going to remind Dwyer because I gave Dwyer my phone and Dwyer read these messages. So I'm going to remind you all this evening. Let them bring on the charges. Let them bring on whatever. The DJ is waiting patiently. I can't speak for Benta. I can speak for the DJ. On the 9th of May, following the viewing of that documentary, there was other citizens in that room with me viewing that documentary. Everybody was concerned with what we saw. And I must say at this time, Dwyer is presenting on that documentary as well, So for Dwyer to come and do a whole commentary today, and no mention about him in the documentary really speaks volume. I'm not trying to throw Dwyer under the bus. But these guys have to stop playing games with the people. Stop playing in the people's mind. Come with the facts. So because of my concern, Gwyneth Byron concern, who viewed the documentary with myself and others, I didn't tell them what I'm doing. I didn't tell Philip Martinez what I'm doing. But because of my support for the Prime Minister, I wanted him to know what is coming down the pike. Prepare himself. Make arrangement to see this thing and understand that you have citizens in this country that are going to be damaged because of the lies that you are trying to cover. Cut out the bullshit, come to the country, tell the country the truth. That's what I was asking, Mr. Prime Minister. You lie for all this time. The lie has gone too far. You're going to hurt citizens, though they're not innocent. But innocent citizens will get hurt if this shit continues. So I send you a very lovely message, Mr. Prime Minister. At 5:23, the message read, "Good afternoon, Honorable Prime Minister Drew. How are you doing? This message is to update you on the matter of the documentary about the CBI that produced by Mr. Martinez. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure who produced the CBI, the documentary, but based on the information I see, I assume is Mr. Martinez. This assumption is wrong, but that is my assumption. I went on to say, I went to see the screening. It is well put together. It is very compelling, and very compelling. Several of our citizens, including yourself, is featured in it. I recommend that you try to see it for yourself before it goes public. Before it goes into the public domain, It is very damaging. As you're aware, I am only a phone call away. Time is running out and the release. The ball is in your court. Be safe. This ain't nothing different to what I've said to the Prime Minister time and time again. If it's anything I can do to assist in being the middleman to try and soften the job, make people come understandable and try to work out the problems. I've made it clear before. I've made it clear in this podcast. I don't see Mr. Martinez and his team going away, losing all the millions of dollars they spend in this country, buying the OTA that you all asked them to buy. Give the people them back the money and let them go if I don't want them. Mr. Prime Minister, this is no new conversation between you and I. This is no new conversation with me and my online viewers. I've said it here time and time again. What started as a nice message to the Prime Minister to warn him of what I saw became a disgruntled Philip Martinez, who called me very upset. Did you tell him what you saw? And I told him yes. I told him I saw the documentary. I didn't tell him the information that is in it, what I told him I said. And he was very upset. But that was at 5:23. What happened following that message to the Prime Minister at 5:23 was a series of messages that were shot after me by the Prime Minister. At 5:28, good day. I am sorry that you are caught up in this. At 5:28, take care. At 5:28, this man cared only about the 40 to 100 million he tried to extort. At 5:29, the AG was in the room. At 5:29, you will be okay. At 5:29, take care. At 5:30, my country will never be extorted. At 5:30, country above self. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, if the Prime Minister is telling me now that the DJ is trying to extort 40 to 100 million dollars from him for whoever, I'll tell him straight to his face, you're a damn liar. That never happened. But you are so confused, Mr. Prime Minister, because 1 minute you're accusing someone walking into your office trying to extort 40 to 100 million dollars from you. I was present, that did not take place. And Mr. Prime Minister, you got a whole bunch of security officers outside sitting down. If somebody come into your office to extort money, you ain't call one of them to escort them across to 1840? This is since November 2nd, we're talking about of 24. You need to cut out your bullshit. You need to done away with your bullshit, Mr. Prime Minister. This is since November 2nd of 24. If somebody came there and tried to extort 40 to 100 million dollars from you, which is a lie, we are now in May 2025. You went to your own table, and when I look at that presentation, on Tuesday, that's when I realized I really gone. I really messed up. Because you are trying to tell the journalists at that event that this person, this message you just read, which is from the DJ, you got the facts in your phone. What facts you got in your phone? I got a phone too. The facts are in my phone. There's no facts in your phone. There's nothing in your phone but bullshit. There's nothing in you but bullshit. You have to cut it out. And for the people out there that support the Labour Party, I cannot tell you all who to support. But I am asking you all to, first, support your country. Defend your country from these bad actors. Because that is what we have right now. I can say, without any doubt, that cabinet, that full cabinet, is aware of the situation that we're in. And instead of them stand up to the oath that they took to defend this country and to uphold the Constitution, they instead took a vote to protect one of their own. And look where the country is at. Look at where we are. I'll continue with the message. At 5:32, I responded, as long as you're aware of the situation that you're dealing with, I am just keeping you up to date on what I see taking place. I hope that you understand that I have your back, which was a fact. At 5:32, the Prime Minister responded, Martin is a nasty fellow. At 5:32, I have everything to let you. 5:32, I will defend my country. 5:32, you will be surprised. 5:33, before you meet him, please know who he is. 5:33, I think you don't know. 5:33, this can damage all who associate with him. I responded to the Prime Minister at 5:35. I said, I don't have any plans or reason to meet with him. I am following up on the matter for our beloved Federation. All I am hoping for is a positive outcome. Because I'm going to dig. That's what I meant. I'm not going to stop dig. At 5:36, the Prime Minister responded, I will not be extorted nor blackmailed. At 5:37, but he sent someone to ask me for $40 to $100 million to not do it. I don't know about that. I didn't witness that. At 5:37, the blackmail and extortion. 5:37, will start an official court case for extortion of a head of government. 5:37, will take it to the UN. 5:38, did not want to do this, but have to. 5:38, previews have started, court case will begin. I guess whoever in the head working the furniture, then everything working in real time. 5:38, and will be brought to the highest court. 5:38, I may be small but not stupid. 5:39, meaning at St. Kitts is small but are not stupid people. I responded to him at 5:40. I said, okay, as long as you and the country are not affected, I am good. I will continue to monitor the situation. The Prime Minister responded at 5:47 p.m. But you be careful. 5:48, very 5:48, because there's a lot of info. 5:48, I have a 400-page document. 5:48, again, be very careful. At 5:50, I responded to the PM. As you said, we may be from a small country, but we are not stupid. If the sky is blue, no one will tell me it is red. The problem here is this. I think that the Prime Minister thought, because everybody is in their camp, as they call comrade, entertain their nonsense and support their nonsense for whatever reason, this DJ would do that. My good people, my grandfather passed away in 1994. My grandmother passed away in 2000. My mother passed away in 92. I have two brothers pass away in 2015. 4 months apart, the exact date. As you guys know, I just had some folks pass away there in the UK. But one thing I can say, whenever I am facing any kind of negative issues, when my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather appears in my dream, it's time to rumble. They don't make joke. They don't mislead me to what's going on out there. I dreamt my grandfather last night, and he came straight to me and told me to be careful what's taking place. I am prepared for whatever to come, because I'm not going to lie to the citizens or anyone, for any prime minister, any politician. There are many people who have passed away over the last few years in this country. There is someone that's there attacking me for the past week, and I stay quiet. But tonight I want to say something. And that individual said, the Prime Minister did not call my name. So why did I have to go and identify myself? So I'm not going to call any name tonight. But I'm going to say something to you, the online viewers. Whatever file they claim they have on me, tell them, bring it on. A hard background check was done on me by the NYPD. if there was anything on me that I need to worry about, just as another guy got arrested when he went to do his fingerprint, this DJ would have get the same treatment. So I'm not worried about what file you all have out there. I hope you all enjoy. But one thing for sure, I have never been accused of murder. I have never been picked up at RLB, waiting to depart a flight and bring back to the police station in St. Kitts for questioning for the murder of somebody. That never happened to me. I have never had a friend who was murdered in New York where they claim was a boat accident when other people testify they know who killed the man. The criminals that the prime minister choose to have around him to create their narrative around the DJ. That is fine. I'm going to drop some things here tonight, I'm going to drop some things here tonight. Not because I want to drop them, but some people believe that they're brain big and they're smarter than anybody else. Like I said, there was many of them, they had no interest in the prime minister getting elected, where they concerned he was not leadership material, not even prime minister material, never mind. But upon his election, they left their business in North America and spent months down here trying to get contract, So when they did not get the chance that they asked the prime minister for, on a daily basis, they was on Facebook abusing the prime minister. They called me and chatting all kind of thing, And I want to believe the reason why I'm in St. Kitts right now is because they too played on the prime minister conscience and ensure that I come in and get something to do, Some of the comments that was made to attack the prime minister by them was accept rejection, don't beg, never chase, know your worth, choose yourself. There was another one, maintain integrity, whether recognized or not. The impact action is what matters, not the audience. That is what I'm using today. Not you all out there spreading your all false rumors. The truth that I'm bringing to the people is what matters to me. And I could give you all the dates for all of these things, I can start giving dates because all of them have a date on them. May 8th, some people only check on you to make sure you're still struggling. April 29th, some people talk about you because they lost the privilege to talk to you. April 29th, if a stranger knock on your door and say, let me in, you are going to say no, but yet we want to go into heaven. What if God said no to us? We are strangers to him. April 24th, money don't change people. If you are stingy, and you get a lot of money, it makes you get a lot of money. It makes you more stingy. If you are generous and you get a lot of money, it makes you more generous. SKN, hashtag SKN. Boy, this is another one. What date this one is? Boys need attention when men need respect, but legend don't care. Get out there and live your life. Live your life to the fullest. Either way, life is short. There's so much of them. So much of them. April 22nd, acceptance of deviance and poor quality is the norm. In my world, quality is key. Deviance is failure, is punished by severely by election of consequences, sorry. Here's another one here. I love this one too. Respectfully, I don't go above and beyond for people anymore. I meet you exactly where you meet me. I speak to you as much as you speak to me. I consider you as much as you consider me. I include you as much as you include me. I'm done being extra for people. Mr. PM, all these words were for you, from your family. There's another one here. Living alone is better than living in with fake people who act like they like you, but deep down inside they don't. They hate you. There's one here from April 3rd. St. Kitts and Nevis' next general election will be decided by local residents. However, re-entering the US after a brief departure may raise questions from the CBP officers regarding the purpose of the trip to St. Kitts. It may be challenged to explain a one-day departure from the US solely to vote for voting purpose in the homeland, considering the new immigration enforcement policies and re-entry the US. It's essential to keep this in mind. The next 2 years, don't take those posts lightly. We label someone fake news when they publish things unfavorable about us. But when they report on our accomplishment, it is glorified. This one is from April 3rd as well. I love this one. March 27th. With money, you can buy a house, but you are not home. You can buy a clock, but not time. You can buy the best bed, but not sleep. You can buy the best plate of food, but not appetite. You can have the best doctor, but still don't have good health. You can have good insurance, but still do not have safety. You can have the most money in the world, but there are just certain things that you cannot buy with material things. Live good with others. I love that one too. Because it doesn't matter how much money you have. Your money don't mean nothing to me. Your money don't mean anything to me. Money does not keep me going. I want a peace of mind. April 3rd. You cannot break a person who gets their strength from God. That is where the DJ is at. No matter what shit you all bring at me, God have me. My cousin Catherine always tell me, God have me here for a purpose. And now I realize the purpose I am here. And I'm going to carry it with and carry the badge on my shoulder. Honesty, integrity, and love of country. I will not stand and see this country dying and never let a helping hand. April 3rd, we label someone as fake news when they publish something unfavorable about us. But when they report accomplishments, it is glorified. I'm confused. These are the authors. These are the authors writing these things. Most men, this is March 25th, most men carry an unthinkable amount of weight on their shoulders. They don't tell anyone about, and they still show up every day for other people with a good attitude, no complaints. If this is you, respect. I'm proud of you. Partner, this is DJ Marisha. I'm going to read it again. This is what I did for the Prime Minister. March 25th. You post this, copy me on it. Most men carry an unthinkable amount of weight on their shoulders. They don't tell anyone about, and they still show up every day for people with a good attitude and no complaints. If this is you, respect, I'm proud of you. That's the DJ. I carry some weight for the Prime Minister in the past year plus. I would say the past almost 3 years, because even before my arrival at the JNF, I've been carrying the weight. March 22nd, the worst prison in the world is a home without peace. Be careful who you marry or fall in love with. That one came out when the Prime Minister got married. That one came out on March 22nd after the Prime Minister got married. This other one on March 22nd, they did not even spell the word correctly. They said, how you cheat your mother is the way you will cheat you. The way you cheat your mother is the way life will cheat you, because a mother love is the best love. I think they went to say treat, but they said, how you cheat your mother is the way life will cheat you, because a mother's love is the best love. Here's another one, you know. Parents don't need tears when they die. They need your hug, laughter, and love while they're still alive. Mr. Prime Minister, all these words was for you, because they don't tell me we're knocking about your mother. Whether it's true or not, I do not know. The first time I met your mother, you introduced her to me on Inauguration Day, 13th of February, 2022. Never seen her again since. It's the people you got around you talking these things. So I could go on and on and on, you know, Mr. PM, because a whole bunch of them, and it was not from the DJ. It's from your people, them. He said, forgive people in your life who have hurt you, even if you are not sorry for their action, because holding on to anger only hurt you, not them. And that is why I forgive you, Prime Minister. I am responding to you guys with your nonsense. But I know the people that you have engaged in attacking the DJ at the moment don't know better. But in due course, they will know better. They say when they tied the Father to the cross that shed his blood for us, he said, forgive them, Lord, for they have not known what they have done. And I know for sure, the people who are out there attacking me right now, they're not taking the time out to understand the situation. But in due course, they will get it. They will understand it. Whether I'm here or not, they will understand it. Because you guys' names, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. Here's another one here from December 24, you know. And them send them to me, so I got to read them. Sometimes people will expose what is wrong with you because they can't handle what is right about you. That's the problem I have right now. They cannot handle the genuine person that I am. Here's another one from December 11th. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. That will not happen. Here's another one. The island of St. Kitts and Nevis need prayer. Something ain't adding up. This is a little too much now. Tears for family from all angel. No, this is the one that's sweet me, because this is the one that bond them when they never get the contract. This is the one that bond them when they never got the contract for the street signage. Mr. PM, revisit the street signage project that was presented to the government that was killed on arrival by the PS. Now the DJ didn't kill your presentation to the government. I did not even know until you sent this. You tell me about it, but I was not a part of that decision making. So why are you on the DJ back? Is the same PM that you championing now, he's the one that killed your project that you asked for? Then you send another one, same date. It's crazy. All I did was met your energy and it became a problem. It's the same thing I'm doing here. I'm hearing statements like, DJ, I don't like how you're treating the Prime Minister. Well, all the Prime Minister do is I'm meeting his energy. The same energy the Prime Minister gave me, I'm returning it. Return to sender. And for many of you who is online that does not understand the DJ, for whatever reason you hate the DJ, I want to thank you all, because in the last week, my viewership, according to Facebook and YouTube, have tripled. And in as much as you all might disagree, as you all claim, you all are here every week. Every episode you all are here. So I want to thank my haters. And I want to thank my supporters as well. Because this podcast will continue as long as I have health and strength. And I'm going to continue to bring the facts to the people. There's another one here in December 12, 24. It says, sometimes you have to die a little inside in order to be reborn and rise again, a stronger and wiser version of you. That's what the DJ is. Because many of them that send me message, good morning, good afternoon, we got to talk, I want to see you. I hear they having all kind of negative things to say behind my back. So this current situation have put me in a position to separate them from me. So I appreciate this opportunity and this time. So I want to thank the Prime Minister for having me reborn, that I have a second opportunity not to be around these hypocrites. There's another one here for December 12. One day you'll be able to tell your story, what you went through, and how you overcome. And it will be someone else's survival guide. Well, that's what the DJ doing right now. I am talking. Because I want people to know. I have helped a lot of people in the past week, Many people who was there, who have been victimized under this government, who has been silently suffering, have sent me many information. And they feel better after speaking to me. So a lot of these people, I am happy. There's another one here for December 14th. Always be prepared to succeed alone. A certain individual can change rapidly. Today you seems essential to them, but tomorrow you may be unnecessary. And that's the harsh truth of existence. When you only tell them your side of the story, the advice that they will give you is only based on what you tell them. These are some good advice. There's even a verse here. I didn't know my partner does been to the Bible. Verse of the day, December 15, 24. Though I am surrounded by troubles, you will protect me from the anger of my enemies. You reach out your hands, and the power of your right hand save me. Says Psalm 138.7. I love this one. This one is for the Prime Minister. When you are wrong, admit it. When you are right, then you could stand up and make noise. Mr. Prime Minister, the ball is in your court. You made a very bad mistake, bad decision to try to cover up a matter that everybody knew even before you got into office. Get rid of them. Fix the country. Fix the CBI. You can't just go into parliament and talk about you creating laws while you're all breaking them. Or you fool of the young man them about the ganja already, and then now you start locking them up. Huh? Here's one here for December 15th, Before you fake your lifestyle on social media, at least block the people who knows you in person. That's a good one. There's another one. Always be ready to survive alone. Some people suddenly change today. You're important to them, and tomorrow you are nothing to them. That's life. Man, I can't even go no more with this thing because there's so much. There's so much There's so much. Do we recognize that the few deaths in SK are now caused by vehicular accident? In the past a couple of weeks, something not right. These are not the DJ saying, these are these people, the supporters of the Prime Minister. December 21, all the ambulance them a crash. Something a go on. The female doctor spoke out, she dies. The artist spoke out, he dies. Busman a speed, people a die. This is the Prime Minister people them who claim they're his people attacking me now. These are their postings on Facebook and tagging me. December 21, be careful how you treat those who bounce back from everything that you meant to destroy them. They are God's people. That is the DJ. Be careful how you all treat me. I'll be here standing in the morning. I'll be here to stretch my hand to help all you wicked, dirty haters. Here's another one here now. I have to laugh with this one. The country are not expecting an apology, but just hope that one day you feel sorry for the way you treated them. Mr. Prime Minister, these people have been coming after you long before me. While I was in my 2-year reserve, observing the situation, these are people who was coming after you. While I was silent, observing, reading. Well, after 2 years, don't I have a right to ask some question? What defines us is how well we rise after a fall. There's another one here. This one he give up on you in a PM. He sent me this one. When you give up on someone, it's not because you don't care anymore. It's because you realize they don't. I'm not even going to go any further with this because it goes on and on and on. I got a more important matter to deal with here because there's a citizen of our beloved Federation that reached out to me yesterday. And after speaking with this individual, it really left me very much uncomfortable last night. I received this message yesterday about 2:50 p.m. It reads, Jeffrey, good day. I know very well the feeling. 2015, I contributed easy 40,000 to campaigning number 5. After elections, I obtained keys to 11 NHC houses and gave out these keys to Labour comrades in Victory. Sean Richards saw to it that I will be banned from doing any construction work in St. Kitts. Tim saved me a little bit. There was little he can do to help. I suffer from a failed hip replacement. I work for government, but NCI say the prosthetic hip not covered. In 2019, same thing happened. Douglas say he can do nothing. I've spent over 500,000 in surgeries to date. I have broken my family and myself. No. I guess you want to say I am broke, but the way it's spelled, you say I'm broke, my family and myself. I'm not bankable. The Drew government provided assistance. I was asked him to go to Colombia, but they sent me to Cuba. I went to Cuba. They told me they don't have the facilities to replace the hip. I came back to St. Kitts in 2024 without treatment. The left hip has failed altogether, really painfully. I'm on tramadol and Voltaren twice per day. I'm living as a labor comrade who voted for Labour in the past 6 elections. Only in 2020 I voted for Tim. As gratitude for stepping in 2015 when Labour abandoned me. So basically, the individual voted for Tim in gratitude for Tim stepping in to assist. Currently, the left hip area is black, hence very shortly I may die from sepsis. No help from insurance, bank or NAC. Now, my good people, these are real complaints I'm getting from people in our beloved federation. I got a picture of the individual. They're afraid to speak out publicly because they're struggling. And the one breadwinner, if they dare speak out, we know what the result will be. We know what the result will be. The result will be that at the end of the day, these people will be out of a job. And at the end of the day, we would know them no more. So let me drop this track here for those haters out there. The King Star Shield, our nation pride.
Wrong. We are far away from self-realization. For politics has its season, but prosperity has a price. And to build a progressive nation, we must pay the sacrifice. And the sacrifice of our leaders is to obey the one above, not to live for the love of power, but by the power of love. And the sacrifice of our people, when every election done, is come together and work with cooperation and change and stand up and build this nation. Yes, it's time to uplift our nation and disregard all our differences in party affiliation. For if we want this land to be a land of peace and prosperity, then we let unity abide for the sake of our nation's pride. Yes, I will not rest until peace, love and unity abide among my people. 'Tis we make foreigners coming and taking over we land, it's because it's supposed to be failing, and it's we who mash up our banks, and it's we who are the oppressors to the citizens of our land, and we divide it in every situation. Take a good look at the Syrians, how they're prospering in this land. Under any administration, they unite with cooperation. But my people are so divided on this little rock in the sea, that our sportsmen just have to suffer when they come from the country. That is why all our teams are failing, for we keep our sportsmen down. So let's forget all this regional division and change and stand up and build our nation. Together we lift our nation. we want this land to be a land that reigns with supremacy, then we let unity abide for the sake of our nation's pride. Progress was found in calypso songs, when we used to sing songs of success and for blessings to our land. Now we cussing and spreading rumor to degrade others' character, but this should not be a part of our culture. So I said this word in calypso, that our children would understand, and calypsonians would remember when they sit down to write their songs, that when you point your finger at another, it's 3 pointing back at you. So when you degrade your own brother, you degrading your own self too. For the greatest crown of our nation is the crown of our nation's pride. So in unity we all should abide. Oh yes, let's stand up and build this nation. It's time to uplift our nation. Yes, and disregard all our differences. Let us work and live as one. For if we really, really want this land to be a land of pride and integrity, then let's put all these things aside and save our nation's pride. I said to save our nation's pride. Save our nation's pride. Now come on, politicians, save our nation. Wipe out all this division between the country and tongue. Calypsonians come build this land. We gonna stop pulling each other down. Yes. Let's save our nation.
Yes, my good people, I gotta save our nation pride. You all see how the world has turned. You see how the world turned. One of them been on social media for the past week attacking me. I choose to ignore them because, like I said earlier in my podcast, is someone that I always look up to for the accomplishment. But they've been accused of things. Whether it's true or not, they've been accused of things. I helped when I could while I was doing the business in New York. I did electrical work for them for free. I did all kinds of things that I could do to help. They sponsored my domino team with a couple of shirts. When I started my campaign for the change of government, they offered me a laptop because my laptop was giving me problem. They sent me a picture of the laptop, so they have it to mail to me. I'm yet to get it. I ain't worry about all of that. I did not call a soul name with all the things I just said a while ago. I just speak the things them. They say, why did I respond to the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister did not call my name. But I didn't call the name, so why are they responding to me? Why are they texting me now? Why are they coming into my chat to tell people that they just messaged me? What are you not like? Don't give. What are you don't like? Don't give. Because you just unmask yourself. I didn't trouble you. You trouble me. This matter with Dr. Joe have nothing to do with you. As citizens in North America, we help each other out. We do things for each other. Until this week, I did not know you have all of this problem with the DJ. I must say until last week. Because the DJ is someone that helps as much as he can. He don't look for nothing from nobody, he helps. That is the DJ. A lot of people out there do for benefits. The DJ don't do for benefits. The DJ do what he have to do. So I am happy that you unmask yourself. I am happy that you unmask yourself. Because I wasn't going to call no name. I'm just showing you how it feels when you did your video trying to say the Prime Minister didn't call nobody name. The Prime Minister talk about extortion. So why did DJ Gango talk about the Prime Minister? When did DJ just say some things a while ago? Did DJ call the name? Huh? Did DJ call the name? The business place where you had where I did electrical work and didn't charge a dime, there was kitchens working there. They know who I am. I can get access from them. I can get voice note for them to say the work I did. Never charge a dime. Because that is how we live. That is how we live. I'm not here to call people names. But that is how we live. We help each other out there. Anyone who had a home in the New York tri-state area in Connecticut need electrical work done, did you do it for free? I drive as far as Boston to do work for free. They just have to provide material. Not even the gas they have to pay. Because that is the DJ. Let's not let politics get the better of us. Let's stick to the issue. The issue we're talking about is the CBI. What the government is doing to this country. The campaign prior to getting into office, that they're going to clean up the problem. That's what they said they're going to do. They get in there. Whatever went on with them and Philip Martinez spoke to them about the underselling. Mark Brantley said it on his podcast about the underselling. But you're going to tell me now that after we campaign and changing the thing and doing things the correct way, you're going to go in there, and because you got colleagues that are going to get caught in the web, the country must pay the price. The country must go through this. Well, no. The vicious circle must end.
What is the reason for you to fear the iniquities of wicked men nowadays? When you are aware that all that is in their minds is to upraise strife and confusion, but the same does fall on their children down to the third and fourth generation. Corruption, I say, it could work but it just can't pay. For most people who are living sky high today got rich in dishonest ways, and living with day from day to day, I can say that if they could hold the key to destruction and upturn this place to confusion, they would strive to do all they can do. So this message I bring to you, especially for them wicked people, and it's not lies, so listen to my cry. If a man spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in the eye. Some men would even use their position to seduce young women of this nation. Say this wicked wrong. Men coming out of school, trying to get employment, and to be successful, they must be present for interviews at their residence at 8 p.m. instant, or somewhere they never went. I call it a bed and back situation, breeding corruption over the land. But they'll cease from their wicked plan when they understand that the one who holds the key to destruction Someday he'll turn their life to confusion. They continue to seduce my people. But when he see they're getting too far, he would take away the power before they die. So they'll know it's not lie, that when they spit up to the sky it must fall straight back in their eyes. Broadcasting and rumors going around, information about wolves in sheep clothing keeping us down. Just like Jim Jones, the minister over in Guyana, using God's name to make a cover for the land he want to take over. He didn't mind to kill a multitude at one time, after making them sign him as beneficiary of their social security. But not he didn't live to spree his decree. For he do not hold the key to destruction to stop them from shooting him down, or he'd openly let it be me. But the one above has the plan to make all them decisions, and if I lie, oh, he wouldn't have to die when he spit up to the sky and it fall straight back in his eyes. I do not intrude on no specific man, for when I sing my song I just sing it from true inspiration. Whatever I do does surely affect me too. For whatever deed that I do, it becomes a vicious circle. Vanity never makes happiness for you, so you should never spoil your future days for vanity which does not pay. For happiness can only be when your mind is free, and you know who holds the key to destruction can make this a happy nation if we strive to do what we should do. That's why this message I bring to you would help us to juggle through, let it reach you high. So even if I die here, I speak a blessing up to the sky, let it fall straight back in your eye.
Yeah, man, spit that blessing up to the sky, let it fall right back in your eye. I have spit so many blessings around the globe that I ain't losing no sleep over these folks who trying to tarnish my little reputation. But let me drop this one, because justice and the old hag is something Starshield always taught me about. We got to do some serious justice in our federation.
Think about the situation of justice in our lands. Well, just conviction should be awarded to every man, can't we understand? That punishment or death to a criminal can't be in vain. For if he's jailed for life or they hang him, he would never disturb next man again. Listen to my song. The position, why should you do wrong? There's no man who could ever be wrong and strong. So if a man commits murder, don't sit there and cry, you just hang him high and let my words condense true sense and go and tell my people that if they create more trouble, they would meet their fate. For old people say that when you're sorry for old hog, what would it do but turn around and go down your gate? This advice I took from a story which I heard about a man named Bruno. In the whole of his life he wounded arrested and murdered more than 300 people. But the judge was so biased because it was his best friend that he sent him to jail to pay monarchy of the island so that he could not be condemned. What a big mistake. Babono escaped and swam back to shore. His main intention was to kill one more. So he got the judge that sent him to jail and kill his tail. But why should I hang on a high, real high, in order to protect other people and prevent further trouble? But judge found out late, real late, that he was sorry for that old hog. So what he do? He turned around and rode down again. A man is caught exploiting the revenue of any island. No police should just want him and set him free because of a high position. No, he should be treated the way they would treat any other man. For the law of constitution was made to govern each and every man that lives on this land. Even policeman. The police, they're here to see me the right. This is no time to sit down and no time to take it light. So if a man violates the law, send him by any friend to get his beer shaven. Tell them policemen, even if Daniel is the best friend, to let him remain in the lion's den, let him meet the fate. Don't wait. But when they're sorry for that old hog, what would he do? He'll turn around and go down the gate. Well, the hearts of man is so desperately wicked, and you know it's true. So you can't afford to let sheer sympathy and goodwill just overcome you. No, if a man violates the law, no matter who he may be, he could be pastor, turner, laborer, commissioner, opinion, to keep believe you understand clearly. Take down the man and clean off the head. The same way the jailmen are fed. Otherwise he'll have time to gather more tricks inside his head. Now you clearly know you must go and tell Judge Glasgow. When he catch them, don't let them go. Let them meet their fate. Don't wait. But when he's sorry for them old hogs, what would they do? They'll turn around and root down he gets. Justice should be awarded to every man, whether black, white, rich, or poor.
Nice. The King Star Shield out of SP with the best be right there. Let me see if I can squeeze in two more tracks before we close out here. It's just about 19 minutes before the hour of 8. It's been a lovely evening. Let's keep going, my good people. This one is King Austin. This one is Progress.
Today, when I look around in the world, what do I see? I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambitions, figments of our imaginations, and I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was, simply because in his quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry. Soon the birds will fly. The mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, I just wonder why. Oh, why? I see charity deplored, equal rights totally ignored, wisdom and ingenuity working in accord, simply to afford such inventions as thermonuclear warfare and environmental warfare. And I wonder now, where do we go from here? Prophets everywhere gaze upon the horizon and declare that judgment will come as the savage hands of unscrupulous men pile everything pass by. Time is running out as we eat and drink, species at the brink of being extinct. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high, real high. I see consciousness as bait, as today we live recklessly. Money make egos inflate and thereby create a turbulent state. I see a struggle between the sexes, new hang-ups and old complexes. Now the question is, right in context, what shall be next? I've already seen this world have come divided between race, color, creed and class. And some of the things the scripture predict truthfully come to pass. Soil that wouldn't bear children, making children to be a part of this growing mass. And I ask, if this is progress, how long will it last?
Yes, my good people, that one is the King Progress. And you know, we cannot get out of here before we give a quick update on my boy there, my brother Concert Woods, aka the Lord Black, aka the Buffalo Soldier. Today, 21st May 2025, if my calculation is correct, is incorrect, you can correct me, but today marks 326 days since the Buffalo went missing there on August 1st of 2024. 291 days since he was found in the Godside in Sadler's Mountain dead. 279 days since his funeral. More than 37 weeks since letters was written to the Department of Health. I have spoken to the CMO, the PS, and the Prime Minister, who has promised regulations will be put in place. We are still waiting to hear from the police in regards to this situation. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am not here to spread propaganda like some people. All I'm asking for is that this government give us the good governance that they campaign on. Freedom of information, integrity in public life. Just give us something that you campaign on. You got to present something at this time. It's almost 3 years. Tell us what's going on with the Buffalo Soldiers case. We want to know. What's going on with the regulations? We want to know. I will be coming here weekly to continue to bring the message to the people, to highlight the situations that need to be highlighted. No gimmicks, no tricks, no spin. All the folks out there who believe that partisan politics is more important than this country, you're listening to the wrong program. This program is going to bring you the facts every time. And the conversation will continue, no problem. So let's drop this one here. This one is coming from my body, Brother Latumba. My people, I ask you, please liberate your mind.
Can we be liberated when we are so confused? This
fingers pointing away from its owner. We shouting blame and crying shame, but all are guilty just the same. Liberate your mind, my brethren. Liberate your mind, I say. Distrust and greed is keeping us back, crippling the state. We got to rise to the occasion and demonstrate to the world that we all are one, that we in this little country could live in love and harmony, working for prosperity, prosperity for you and me. Some campaigning, some dictating. Everybody want to control. There's no process for creating an awareness of greater social and economic goals. This system has got to go, or we will suffer more. The power only working for a society privileged you. So true. Liberate your mind, my brethren. Liberate your mind, I say. Distrust and greed is keeping us back, crippling the state. We got to rise to the occasion and demonstrate to the world that we all are one, that we in this little country can live in love and harmony, working for prosperity, prosperity for you and me. Oh yeah. Despite the differences our eyes have seen, we need political unity. Be ready to unite and to work, not fight. Stand up for justice and for right. Break down the barriers in this land. Stand between the working man who dies so long, worked so hard, gets so little out of life. Got it right. Liberate your mind, my brethren. Liberate your mind, I say. Distrust and greed is keeping us back, crippling the state. We got to rise to the occasion and demonstrate to the world that we all are one, that we in this little country can live in love and harmony, working for prosperity, prosperity for you and me. Oh yeah.
I gotta laugh, you know. I was going to sign off exactly 8 o'clock this evening. I said I will sign off at 8. But Celine, congratulations. You just earned yourself an extra 15 minutes overtime. Because I have played this clip at least twice already on this podcast. Anyone who have been following this podcast, and I know you do, knows every time I come here, I speak truth to power. For 2 years, I come here and said I'm in observation mode. After 2 years, I will start talking the things. I started talking the things exactly 2 years onwards. When the shit hit the fan last November the 2nd in the office with a meeting between myself, Mr. Benter, the AG, and the Prime Minister, I came back the following week, Wednesday, with Mr. Benter, and I present my case. And I said, then I am going to present the case as it is now. I will not go into details at the moment, but I am letting you all know the shit is not going well. So when I come in due course, nobody could tell me I never say anything. So Celine, I hope everybody is just relaxed. This is for you. A former prime minister punching week after week after week. You hear people chanting, we want him back. You can't vex with them. Because if the people give you an opportunity, Mr. Prime Minister, to do the right thing and take us on the right path, and we hear all of these things about fake marriages, we campaign on boundary change. We hear about how much millions missing from development bank, amongst God knows what else. Those pillars of good governance and everything else that we campaign on, the people paying attention. The people are paying attention. The Ministry of Health have a responsibility to respond to the family of Mr. Edwards. They have email addresses. They don't have to mail any letters. Acknowledge receipt of these letters and what you guys are doing. This is not about this just one home in Sadlers. This is about fixing a health system throughout the Federation that should have been done years ago. But it looked like the corruption and the money from the CBI passport and whatever is money that some of them was putting in the overseas account was more important than taking care of the people business. Well, DJ Marisha was not activated before, you know. I was not activated for this role. But since the former Prime Minister decided to lock me down in quarantine, and this program was born, and we are now in a different era with a change of government, well, what I was talking about that was wrong under the previous administration, if it was wrong then, it got to be wrong today. So I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to just shut up because somebody figure, well, oh, you're cussing the Prime Minister. No, I'm not cussing Prime Minister. I'm not cussing government. I've said it time and time again. If it's one supporter the Prime Minister going to be left with at the end of the day, is this young man here. Unless he gives me reason to do differently. So far, I can say to you, if it's one individual the Prime Minister will be left with to be his support, is this young man. But there's too much nonsense going on that need to be addressed. So these actors that you have acting, let them do the work. These functionaries that you have there, either not functioning, are functioning for their own benefit and their friends' benefit. Do something about it. Because you will be held accountable for the action, Mr. Prime Minister. The Labour government will be held accountable for the actions. DJ Marisha is not spin bowler. I love cricket, but I bowl medium pace. You understand? I am at my last. When I say last, I am at my last with some of the bullshit that is going on. A few weeks ago, I came across some external information. My ears are always at the ground, always cracking to see what's going on when it comes to this good country and what may affect our Prime Minister and his team. And I came across some news that was very mind-boggling for me. Because when the individual said to me, I understand you love your prime minister. I understand you love your country. But what happens if I tell you your prime minister is corrupt and his corruptive actions will be affecting the country and the people of St. Kitts Nevis? I say, well, if you can prove this, bring it on. Because if it's one thing I'm going to stand for, is to campaign to get rid of corruption and welcome it under a new administration because I support them. I try reaching out to the Prime Minister on numerous occasions, without luck. I try reaching out to the AG without luck. The gentleman on screen is one of the individuals that I employed to look into some matters for me. And he may not be able to go into details tonight. So I'm not going to ask him to go into details. He could speak for himself and what he can speak on. But I'm going to speak on what I know and how I feel about the situation. After weeks of trying to get an audience with the Prime Minister, I finally got an audience with the Prime Minister last Friday evening. I'm not going to get into everybody who was in that meeting. But what I can say to you, good citizens, what I heard and what I know for a fact that transpired, that have this lovely federation caught up in all kind of mess by individual that was elected to take care of this country and represent us. I have a problem with it. When I sat in that room and listened to the conversation, I look left and I look right. I look up to the sky and I look down to try and process what I'm hearing. And there's a saying, they said, when school children talk, they might not bring the full story, but something in there is true. Well, I know in this conversation, something in there is true. And I would say this, I am quite satisfied with the Prime Minister's approach to the situation after he heard what he heard. I support the Prime Minister unless something else or other stuff comes out to change my mind. I am in full agreement with the Prime Minister and his approach to this whole situation. Because you see, prior prime ministers, prior ministers of government, their action did some harm to our beloved federation. And I want to shout out MSR Media, I really want to shout out MSR Media. And I want to identify the gentleman. I don't know if I can pronounce his name properly, but Mr. Felipe Martinez, I want to thank you on behalf of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. For months and maybe years, the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis have been asking about our CBI, the Citizen by Investment Program. We also was asking about the sugar money. Can't get no straight answers. People who was in the former administration, the former Prime Minister, the former ambassador to the United Nations, they said they had access to how much passport application or units were sold. But they refused to give the people the information. They want Prime Minister Joe to do it. And it was a back and forth and a ring and roll to get some responses from that. But with this Rico case that was filed in the US by the MSR, we are now in possession of some information that brings some light to where we are. And my people for St. Kitts and Nevis, we're not in any good place here now. We're in a very bad place at this moment because of the actions of certain people. And let's not lose sight that since the government changed, Prime Minister just signed off on some of those, whether citizenship, certificates, units, whatever they want to call them. Prime Minister Joe, I understand, sign off on some. So Prime Minister Joe and the AG might be right up in the car as well. And that's what my concerns was about last week when I heard the conversation on the wire, that I need to know that our Prime Minister understands what is happening externally and that he prepare himself for whatever to come. Because something coming, my good people. Something is coming. I cannot tell you what is coming, but something is coming. I think it's about a day or two ago, a document came into me on my phone telling me that the MSR media won another step of a case. The courts of New York now gave permission or gave an order for the bank accounts of some people, operatives of St. Kitts Nevis, including former prime ministers, to release their bank accounts to MSR media. It get deeper, it get dirtier. And I bring this information to you, my good citizens, because I'm not going to bring all the information that I have. I just want to give you all the information that I can give to the general public without creating a problem for our beloved federation, so that nobody could say later, well, Marisha did not say this before. But if Marisha had this information before, why didn't he say anything? No. What I got, I'm going to give it to you now. It is up to Prime Minister Joe and his team to speak to the Federation, not DJ Marisha. But I was a part of a meeting that was very, very serious. I thank the Prime Minister and his team for taking the call and giving us the audience. Big Lies have a saying, things not going well. Well, DJ Marisha going to tell you all tonight, all is not well. St. Kitts Nevis, from my understanding, is not being sued by MSR. From what I understand, MSR is not demanding any monies from the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. MSR want the compensation though. The idea for this case to be filed is because MSR, somewhere along the line, felt that they was wronged in some way and they want to recoup their losses. So, in my view, I could be wrong. What MSI is asking for from whom could be looked at as a settlement. It could be looked at as a shakedown. It could be looked at as anything, because it is not like they file a case and not looking for anything at the end of the day. MSR, with this Rico case, is looking for some kind of revenue for their loss. And I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to go any deeper. I'm going to give my partner, colleague, brother there, Benter, an opportunity if you want to piggyback or correct me in anything that I say. Because guess what? When DJ Marisha running on 100 miles dash, you know, he keep going. So maybe I skip something, misstep. So, Brother Benter, your input if you have any. My good people, that was my podcast, clip from my podcast of November 6, 2024. And for those of you viewers who have not been paying attention and might wondering what this is all about, where we are coming from, let me give a quick synopsis before I go into my closing song. Apparently, according to MSR, Prime Minister Joe, upon taking office, encouraged the MSR team to purchase the OTI hotel from TDC. The OTI hotel came with some shares. The shares was to be sold at $250,000 per share. That would assist them in getting back the money they spent to buy that hotel with a little extra. Upon taking keys and whatever and started the process with the OTI hotel, MSR found out that a better deal was given to the Galaxy management. The prison project of 5,500 shares. The prison, according to MSR, costs less than what they are pumping into their business at the OTI. According to MSR, and it has been proven since, because the prison project had so many shares, they was able to sell those shares under the minimum value to get rid of them quick. So basically, there was underselling the passport or the citizenship, and the MSR team brought it to the attention of, I guess, former administration and Prime Minister Joe. According to the MSR team, there was assured by the AG that they will put a stop to the corruption. Apparently, upon investigation, MSR claimed that the underselling continued. The government denied it. MSR filed a court case. It ended up in Galaxy and the former Prime Minister suing MSR for defamation. That gave MSR the opportunity to do a discovery matter where they applied to get bank records of the individual that sued them in US court. Once MSR had enough documents, they provide those documents to the St. Kitts Nevis government. Now, if this matter had dealt with back in November when I did that podcast, when we met with the Prime Minister, we would not be where we are today, you know. The cover-up is worse than the crime. It's because of the cover-up where we are today. Because guess what? Since that matter was filed in court, and since this breakup and the public spa that is going on, the government, through their representative, I understand, signed an affidavit acknowledging the underselling of several files, several citizenship, to the point where the government itself released not too long ago, my good people. You all should be paying attention. You all know these things online. The government not too long ago produced a report that they did some investigation, and I think some 32 individuals that underpaid for the passport paid the difference. I think some 13 individuals was revoked, and some 158 in total that was examined. I think at the time there was 2 agencies that sells the passport was black from selling the passport. I understand it's up to 4 agents now. All that MSR was saying, why just the 158 or the 185 files that they gave them was investigated? The entire thing should be investigated, which is a fact. The Galaxy, all of those CBI projects should be re-examined. So where MSI is concerned, the point is, MSI have proved their point that there was underselling. The government has acknowledged that, and we should have done away with this by now. But what the government did, they went ahead and created an even bigger problem for themselves by disbanning MSR from selling their shares to recoup their money. So all I've been saying to the Prime Minister privately and publicly, you cannot tell me as a citizen of this country that the OTI was sitting there, owned by TDC, I understand. TDC owes the government X amount of money. You encourage this company to go and purchase the OTI. At the closing, to my understanding, the government had someone there to collect the money that is owed to them by TDC before TDC can collect their money from MSR. The balance of the money went to TDC. Up to till now, the country is still waiting to hear what money is that and where the money went, you know. We have not heard nothing about that money. We're hearing from MSR that at the closing, TDC owed the government some money. There was a representative on behalf of the government to collect that money, and TDC get the rest of the money. Okay, so that is that. The government get their money from TDC. TDC get their money. MSR ended up with the hotel and the shares. Now you're blocking them from selling the shares to recoup their money. Mr. Prime Minister, citizens, let's be fair. If we do not want MSR in the country, give them back the money, let it go. Make a settlement, make an arrangement. Either give the people them back the money, let them go, or provide them with the means to operate their hotel and sell the shares to recoup their money. That's all I'm asking for, you know. I make a comparison some week ago that I was in Kentucky. A lady had ordered a chicken breast, and she didn't get a chicken breast, and it was big noise in there. I see people making noise over $50, $5, $10. Small money people are, as a matter of fact, right here in St. Paul's, you know, back in the 70s, there were some guys gambling down there and the old bat, the public bat there, you know. And as young as I was, I could remember the story well. One of the individuals win out the other guys. One of the fellows who lose all his money borrow 5 cents to get back into the game. Them time 5 cents was big money. He got back in the game and win them back out. And when the man that he borrowed the 5 cents from asked him for his 5 cents back, he refused, you know. And instead of paying the man the money, he give him a jab with a punya, kill him, you know. My grandfather called it 5 cent debt. Right here in St. Paul's. We're talking about millions of dollars, not 5 cents. Not $100, not 50. Let's be fair. You cannot be a partisan person, doesn't matter which party you support, because a lot of you out there in North America, I have seen you all fight over a beer. I have seen you all fight over simple things. They got some people taking pictures, they give a price to take pictures. If they don't get paid, they make noise. People renting vehicle, if they don't get the money up front, they're not renting the vehicle. How fair can it be that you all want these people to walk away losing millions of dollars? There are people out there on a daily basis dirtying this country name because they applied for citizenship. It was turned down or whatever went on, and the government's supposed to reimburse them and they're not getting back their money. It does not sound good on the international scene. That's all I'm saying, my people. Not cussing the government. Not going after the Prime Minister, talking the facts. They say hold the foot to the fire. But me didn't light the fire yet. And it's a problem. My good people, I have come to the close of the podcast for this evening. It's now 8:18 on a Wednesday evening. This is May 21st, 2025. I'm going to drop the unofficial anthem of St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to wish you all well, and I want to thank you guys in the chat that is participating, whether it may be positive or negative. I encourage the conversation. I just want you all to understand. Free speech does not mean lying and spinning. You could ask a question, you could have a debate, but let's have a sensible debate. It's okay to hate the DJ. It's part of the process, I know. The messenger always gets beat up, but I just want you to ensure that you receive the message. Just ignore the messenger and receive the message. That is all I'm here to give you. The message, the best that I know it to be. I will not bring any lies to you, my good people. So, as we get going,
your country dying and never lend a helping hand. Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Maladministration reigning all and no. I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Would you assist building a wall so massive or a bridge? Don't care how small, as one tends to divide our people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Displaying selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, potato. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So arise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, another successful evening here at the DJ Mauritius podcast. God willing, look forward to seeing you guys again in the not too distant future. Until such time, my good people, I ask that you be safe, keep your head on, and keep an open mind to what is transpiring.